welcome back to the channel, and welcome if you are new. I'm at my mom's house right now. I'm fixing to start cleaning her oven. She keeps an aluminum foil underneath it to help keep it cleaner so it's not as dirty as what she says it is. So I will show y'all what it looks like. And there is the door. Let's see if I can get inside. See, there's just some stuff right here and then some stuff back there. It's really not that dirty, but I found some things on Pinterest, so we're just gonna try and see what works best. The tip on Pinterest said to wash it with a washcloth first, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then I will be using baking soda and water. That's the only thing it says you need, plus a sponge, and then obviously the washcloth. So let's get started.
Watch me under the light, so keep me in your sight, 'cause I can do this all night. You can call it what you want, I got something else in mind. Oh, if it's you I've been waiting for, I better make you worth my time. So don't you pay them any mind, close your eyes, follow the sound. Keep it coming through the night, we don't need to slow down. Take it all, I'll give you what you need. If you stay with me, I'll love you in the dark. So shine on, don't lose your spark. Show me what you got. Let your colors burn. Let your colors burn now. Let your colors burn now. I'll let you in the dark. I'm waiting in the dark, where I can see you so clear. All we got is here and now. So give it all you got. Don't you pay them any mind, close your eyes, follow the sound. Keep it coming through the night, we don't need to slow down. Take it all, I'll give you what you need. If you stay with me, I'll love you in the dark. So shine on.
Alright, so like I said, the first step was to wipe it all down with a wet washcloth. The second step is to spray water generously in the oven, but I do not have a spray bottle, so I am going to try and just get my rag really wet and kind of wring it in there. So let's see if that works.
Lose your spark. Show me what you got. Let your colors.
Alrighty, so we're gonna see if that works. I did fill my rag up with water and wring it out into the oven and onto the oven door. Like I said, it did say to use a spray bottle to spray generously, but I didn't have one. So we're gonna see if that works. The third step is to pour baking soda all in the oven and on the oven door.
So take it all, I'll give you what you need. If you stay with me, I'll love you in the dark. So shine on, don't lose your spark. Show me what you got. Let your colors burn. Let your colors burn now. Let your colors burn.
Alright, so Mom had some cleaner that was about empty, so she went ahead and used it, and then gave me this so I could use it as a spray bottle because it wants, or it says that the baking soda has to be wet for it to be able to work. And if you can see, when it starts working, it gets all brown because it's absorbing all the dirt and grime. It also says that you want it to stay wet, so to check it, you're supposed to leave it on here for 15 minutes, so check it every few minutes and spray it down if it looks dry. So I'm going to spray the stuff that is dry, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and check on it.
I'll love you in the dark.
so I've letting this sit for a while. It has turned brown in some spots. I don't know if you can see it. So we're gonna wipe it off with a wet sponge and see what it looks like. I may do it again, or I may try a different type of cleaning if this does not work. I'm actually going to use a wet paper towel first, just to grab up the chunks of baking soda.
Days move on like all the time, and my highs and lows are worse in the evening. Then you come around, spin my world upside down, taught me how to fly higher, higher. 'Cause when you spin me all around, I can't stop the feeling, and it's true, I'm in paradise. It's hard to believe it, 'cause when you spin me all around, my head stops to reason. So please help me understand, you wanna stay with me now. You wanna stay with me now. Days move on like all the time, and this gray sky breaks my mood every morning. Then you come around, spin my world upside down, taught me how to fly higher, higher.
Alright, so here's what it looks like right now. There is still a spot right there and one right here, and then the door didn't get fully cleaned. So what I'm going to do is come back tomorrow and try the baking soda again and letting it sit just a little bit longer, and then taking an SOS pad and scrubbing it. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to try another pen I saw that had the vinegar, baking soda, and Dawn dish soap, and try that and see if that works. I think if I put the baking soda on just the spots that need it more than the rest of it and let it sit longer, maybe put a little bit more on it, it should work, because it worked really good on the areas that weren't so big, but on the big areas it didn't work as well. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm back at Mom's. I decided that I would go ahead and sprinkle the baking soda on the door and then the spots that it didn't get completely clean in the oven, and let it sit overnight. So when I came back here this morning, I decided that I would go ahead and spray it some more with water just to get it wet again, or let it be wet again. And I let it sit for about maybe 15 more minutes, and now I'm fixing to wipe it off. So this is what it looks like right now. And that's the spots in there that were still didn't get completely clean. But I brought an SOS pad that I'm going to scrub to see if that helps get all the stuff that is stuck on off easier.
Won't you spin me all around again? 'Cause when you spin me all around, I can't stop the feeling, and it's true, I'm in paradise. It's hard to believe it, 'cause when you spin me all around, my head stops to reason. So please help me understand.
Alright, so that did work better than leaving it on there for 15 minutes on the door. It got more off of it, so I do recommend that. But it didn't get it completely cleaned, if you can see. If you can see, there's still, but over here that is completely cleaned. So it's just mostly just right here. And then there is still a spot right there and right there. With those areas, I do think I need something that can scrape better, just to help get those things or those places off. And sorry if you can hear Stratton in the background crying. But anyways, so I'm going to get my SOS pad and try to scrub those areas off. But I do think that the baking soda does work. It works really good, especially if you leave it overnight. I don't know how it works, but it works really good. So
You wanna stay with me now? Spin me all around. I can't stop the feeling, and it's true. I'm in paradise. It's hard to believe it, 'cause when you spin me all around, my head stops to reason. So please help me understand. You wanna stay with me now?
Sometimes I make this life thing harder than it needs to be. Not dead yet, true shit. So why do I worry about what I can't see? I've been stressing about money for my rent, but the money that I spent last night with my friends was worth it. Sometimes I make this life thing harder than it needs to be. So many lights, lights, lights with us tonight, night, night. Don't let them go to waste. Look into my eyes, eyes, eyes. It's gonna be alright, right, right. Tomorrow's gonna be okay. One moment, one shot. That's all we got. One moment, one shot. I don't belong to somewhere else than where I lay my bags. It's so hard to stay up and don't hide away behind the same old mask. But tonight I got the cool and I wanna go dance with you. So if you are in the mood, it's worth it. We don't belong with masks on. Leave them here and don't look back. So many lights, lights, lights with us tonight, night, night. Don't let them go to waste. Look into my eyes, eyes, eyes. It's gonna be alright, right, right. Tomorrow.
alright, so I just got finished. The SOS pad did wonders for the door. There are still 2 spots left in the oven that did not come clean. I scrubbed and I've scrubbed and scrubbed and they still just aren't budging. They're a little bit smaller than they were, but that was mostly because of the baking soda. So like I said, I do recommend the baking soda. 15 minutes did work some, but overnight worked wonders. So I would definitely try doing it overnight if you can, because that's when the majority of the stuff came off. But the SOS pad did get the remaining stuff off. So here is the after. There is the door. And then if you can see, there's still a spot right there, and then there's one over there. But like I said, it did get the majority of it off. So just baking soda and water, you spray it down. I will say that spraying it down instead of like wringing the rag out on it worked 10 times better. So definitely spray it, saturate it with water, and then sprinkle your baking soda on there. It said to keep the baking soda wet, so that's what I did. I came and checked on it maybe like every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes. And then when I did it overnight, I just soaked it really well before I left. And then this morning I soaked it again and let it sit for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then came and wiped it all off. So you don't have to babysit it overnight. You don't have to like wake up every 15 minutes to get it wet or anything like that. Just when you're leaving it, like after you put it on, maybe every 15 to 30 minutes, come and make sure it's still wet. And then before you go to bed, make sure it's really wet. So anyways, like I said, that's what I used. I may use something different next time when I clean it, just to see what works better. But I'm telling you, that worked really well. So baking soda and water, and then if you have anything that just won't budge with the baking soda and water, use an SOS pad. So there you have it. And if you enjoyed watching this video, give this video a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you as part of our YouTube family and to come along with us on this journey. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.